This is a week late. I'm sorry, guys. Hey there, anyway, guys. Hey there, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, back with another TV episode review. And no, guys, I did not get to watch the most recent episode of The Walking Dead a couple hours early. No, that episode airs tonight at 9 o'clock. That's episode 7. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing episode 6 because I had not watched it when it aired last week. And all this week long, I did not get a chance to watch it. I was incredibly busy at school. Nevertheless, I finally did get to watch it last night. Here's my story. Last night, I watched The Walking Dead, the most recent episode. This is going to be a review for Season 6, Episode 6, Always Accountable is the name of the episode. Now, I watched this last night at like 8 at night, and then I left my house at like 9:15 to go to a night showing of the film Spotlight, which I watched last night, and I will be getting a review up at some point this week, maybe like Monday or well, in this case tomorrow or Tuesday or something like that. Okay, so that's what I did yesterday. So yeah, I just got a chance to watch this episode, and I'm sorry. And because this is a week late, and because this probably isn't even relevant anymore, I'm uploading this hours before the new episode airs, and when the new episode airs, I'm going to shoot that review and then upload that. So this is just, I don't know. So I'm going to keep this brief. I'm going to skim through the episode brief, just briefly give my thoughts on it, and then just move on. So let's get to it. Tonight's episode, Always Accountable, sidetracks and takes a break from the group at Alexandria, and we focus on 3 of our main characters who are still struggling to get back to Alexandria after they have to complete their mission. And those 3 characters are Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl. As we all know, they were the ones who were specifically leading that giant herd of walkers that Rick and the gang wanted to move away from Alexandria, and he gave them instructions to take them 20 miles out. Now, in the beginning of this episode, they say it right in the first minute of this episode. I think that's 20 miles. We can take off now. So they do just that, and as I think they wanted to turn around, or they make a turn, and they get hit with bullet spray from another rival group. Throughout the entirety of this episode, we do not see their faces. We see nothing but their lower chest and legs throughout. But there's this group, you can faintly see them in like cars and everything, but they're just firing at Daryl and all of them. So Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham get split up because Sasha and Abraham are in a car, Daryl's on his motorcycle. Okay? So that all goes down, unfortunately, and Daryl winds up in like this in this part of the woods, but it's like a really odd part of the woods, you know what I mean? It's like charred, it's like it had been massively engulfed in flames. There's nothing but like soot everywhere, and it's just black and desolate, and it's just not a great place, not a great looking place to be in. And this is Daryl's new surroundings, I guess you could say. Now early on, this episode basically it's a back and forth between Daryl, Sasha, or just Daryl, and then Sasha and Abraham. Now I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I'm just gonna come right off the bat and say it. I didn't care for this episode. All right, I really didn't care for it. I'll say why right now why I did not like this episode, and just to keep this review brief. I think the number one reason why this episode just doesn't work, in all honesty, yeah, it's very slow paced, but that you can have slow paced episodes of The Walking Dead and they can still be good and interesting. Take episode 4 for example, the episode with Morgan and Eastman. That's one of my favorite episodes of the season so far, okay? And it's one of the slowest paced episodes of the entire season. But we have 2 really important, engaging characters that keep you fully captivated and engrossed into what's going on. The dialogue is well written there. The scenario that they're involved in, the stakes are interesting. You know, that is how you do a good episode. Tonight's episode, it just felt like, yeah, they just had to split the 2 of them up. It's like Sasha and Abraham they hit a slight speed bump. They lose Daryl, okay, and we focus on them for a whole episode, and nothing really happens. Essentially, they go to this abandoned like office complex or whatever, and Abraham finds a sailor suit, like a military suit. I don't know, and at some point they consider just not going back to Alexandria and just staying in the office, and I'm just like, why? They're gonna go back to Alexandria. I mean, I don't know. And I don't know if it was me, but were they hinting at Abraham and Sasha starting like some sort of relationship? Because I'm just sitting over here like, isn't he with Rosita? Yeah, they banged a lot in the last season. Why no more? Did that just die? I guess so. I don't know. But no, seriously, I did not like theirs. I did not care for their storyline at all. Nothing exciting or interesting happened at all. Okay, the only probably cool thing that happened was that Abraham found a rocket launcher. Okay, that's about it. Yeah, no, seriously, everything else that happened, I could not give a shit about. And honestly, it was only like a couple hours that they were separated from Daryl. I don't think. Oh, no. I think it did carry overnight. Yeah, that's right. The beginning of the episode, Daryl gets knocked out by this group. I believe the guy of this is a group of 3, essentially. His name is David, and he has 2 women with him. One of them, I believe, is his partner or something. I don't know. I think her name is Honey, and I think the other, there's a younger girl, very short, blonde hair. Her name is Tina, I believe. So they find Daryl. Daryl gets knocked out, and I believe he's like stunned, but you can see like a POV of him looking at them at night, as they're like surrounded by fire. Okay, so it does take place over one night and over a few hours the next day. Okay, that's how long Daryl's lost for, or how Daryl separated from Sasha and Abraham. So, I mean, like, I don't know. The one thing that I was just saying to myself towards the end of the episode, not only did we not need Abraham or Sasha just at all in this episode, really, like, they could have honestly just been split up from Daryl, and this episode could have focused solely on Daryl and just his quest to get back to them, essentially. I don't know. But my big thing, and then people have been talking about this for this entire season, or the entire series in general, ever since The Walking Dead started doing the 16-episode thing. And I didn't notice this so much in Season 3 when they first started doing 16 episodes. I felt every episode in that season, for the most part, was necessary. But Season 4, I really started to realize what people were meaning by saying that. Season 5, it happened a little bit, not as much as Season 4. In Season 6, it's already happened maybe twice now. But there's so many episodes in a season of The Walking Dead that they have to have the 16-episode order. So that means that some episodes are just going to be stuffed with things you not only don't care about, but really where nothing progressively happens. Okay, like, there's a lot of unnecessary things that just go down in tonight's episode. Did we really need to have a whole episode devoted to showing us a possible relationship brewing between Sasha and Abraham? Really? In a show about a zombie apocalypse, did we really need that? I don't think so. Yeah, I really just didn't care for that at all. And in all honesty, I like Abraham. I do. I've liked Abraham since that episode where he told where we saw his past life. Okay, in Season 5, that was Episode 5. I've always liked Abraham since then. I liked what his character wanted to do. I liked his goals and everything. I was always a fan of Abraham. I was never a fan of Sasha. Okay, in my opinion, they killed off the wrong sibling. All right, I would rather have Tyrese still around than Sasha. I don't know. Something about her has just always annoyed me. I don't care for her particularly. I like where her character has gone on this show. I just don't care for the character in general. And to just have them start a relationship is not only out of nowhere, but also very completely forced and just entirely unnecessary, in my opinion. And I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, but that's what the dialogue felt to me, in my opinion. It just felt odd, in all honesty. I don't know. That whole storyline could have been cut out. This episode in general, honestly, could have just been cut entirely from this season. We did not need a whole episode devoted to this. I'm sorry. But getting back to Daryl's storyline, that was the more interesting of the two, if we're going to be honest. I mean, I like the people that he meets, the group that he meets. They broke free from the group that shot up Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham in the beginning. I believe the leader of that group, his name is Wade. Okay, and they're sort of hiding from them in a forest, which is not that far away from where they shot them up. So I don't know how this group hasn't found them yet. Why they haven't been on the move, I don't know. That's not explained. They're just staying in the charred forest. So David, Honey, and Tina, they find Daryl, and when they first meet Daryl, they think he is with this group that they're running from, the group that they flee. They think he's one of them, but Daryl ends up saving them in one instance and proves to them, listen, I'm not with them. I'm just, doing my own thing here. I am not, one of them. And they see that Daryl does have good in him, and Daryl absolutely does have good in him. We've seen that throughout the course of this series. As badass as Daryl is, he does have good in him, okay? He is down to his core. And I like how that was explored. I like how he didn't just kill these people, because that's not the man Daryl is. And I like that overall, and that was honestly the saving grace of this entire episode. Then we have a couple other beats. That group with the Wade guy or whatever, they come into the forest, and Daryl and the others, they're hiding, and he has to cut off one of his group members. Wade has to cut off one of his group members' arms or something because he gets bit. I don't know. It's just a couple of useless beats in there, and then finally, the character Daryl and David and Honey and Tina, they go to this burned down like what do you call it? Like one of those flower houses, those like greenhouses where they have like flowers. It's like burned down, torn down, and there are these two supposedly dead walkers just laying in like mud, and they're covered in like glass. And one girl, I think, falls on one, breaks the glass, and the walker, it's Tina's character, and then bites her neck, so they have to kill her and bury her. And that was one of the dumbest just deaths, probably not only of this season, the dumbest death of this entire season, but quite possibly one of the dumbest deaths of this entire series, in my opinion. Oh boy. So yeah, that happens. And after that, they end up burying her, and Daryl sees their misfortune and everything, or David and Honey's misfortune, and asks them the famous Rick 3 questions. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? And why? He's considering taking them to Alexandria, and they're all down for it. And I really liked where the episode was going from there on. I honestly wanted to see Daryl take these two guys back to Alexandria, and then maybe this group that is seemingly hunting them, like with Wade at the head, would then be a new threat for Alexandria or something. I don't know. I really liked where that would go. However, Daryl brings them back to his motorcycle. And when he reveals that he has his motorcycle, and of course he's been carrying his crossbow, they hold him at gunpoint, they steal his motorcycle from him as well as his crossbow, and they take off. And they're like, we're sorry about this, and he's like, you're gonna be, or something, and then they drive off. So obviously Daryl is gonna settle that score by the end of this season at some point, or by the end of this mid-season 8-episode run. So I'm assuming in the probably the mid-season finale, he's going to cross their paths again and obviously get that crossbow back. That was clearly the saddest moment in this entire. It was Daryl losing his crossbow, of course. And then skipping all the way ahead to the last scene of the episode, Daryl finds a truck called Patty and drives it over, eventually tracks down Abraham and Sasha, and then when they had gone to the office, they wrote Daryl's name on the door in it looked like crayon. I don't know what Sasha wrote it in, but they just wrote Dixon. So Daryl picks them up in the truck. They're driving back to Alexandria, and Daryl pulls out the walkie-talkie, or a walkie-talkie, and radios in Rick to see if Rick's still out there and in danger. But at this point, I'm assuming, this is taking place after Rick, or before Rick gets back. Either before, probably after Rick has already gotten back to Alexandria. So they radio in Rick, they get nothing but static. Then we get one final shot outside of the truck, driving down the road, and then we hear static, we hear someone faintly talking, and then someone mutters out the word help. Okay, and the episode cuts to black. Now, a lot of theories have been going on as to who said help. Most people have been saying that it was Glenn. But there are other theories going on. I was watching, my brother was watching this with me last night, and he was rewatching because he had already seen it. And he told me he had 3 theories. 1, it was either Glenn. 2, it was a new person we've never seen before, someone that's in danger, but why would they end it that dramatically? So I immediately knocked that reason down. And 3, it could be the David or that honey girl. Who took off with Daryl's motorcycle, because I believe they have a walkie-talkie. So I don't know, maybe they got in trouble, but I'm inclined to believe that was truthfully Glenn. I think it was. I think a lot of other people also believe it's Glenn, because Glenn did have a walkie-talkie. Now, he didn't answer for a while, and I don't know if Rick was... I can't remember if Rick was trying to contact him on the walkie in episode 5. I honestly don't remember. But I think we all know at this point Glenn is still alive. We just don't know for sure yet, okay? And I think that tonight's episode 7, is going to definitely reveal that for sure, if you know what I mean. So, there you have it, guys. That was tonight's episode. By far, the best moment in this whole episode, apart from them stealing Daryl's crossbow and motorcycle, which I kind of felt bad for because I love Daryl, and obviously that's going to upset him. The best moment was the ending, okay, in all honesty, because we don't know who was on the radio. Other than that, guys, this episode was not that good. Pacing was terrible. Just the writing just didn't help this episode at all either. I don't know. I did not care at all about the Daryl, the Abraham and Sasha conversations that they were having, talking about being always accountable for, Walker deaths, how Sasha didn't want Abraham to kill Walker. I don't know. I didn't care for it at all. Honestly, kind of bored me, and I hate saying that something is boring to give that as an excuse as to why something's not that good. But in this case, tonight's episode was not fun or exciting really at all. I keep saying tonight's episode. Last week's episode was not fun or exciting really, and that's why I didn't particularly care for it. All that said, Daryl's storyline was kind of cool. I like the introduction of these new characters. I wonder if this new group with Wade at the head is going to be a threat for Alexandria. They're 20 miles away from Alexandria, but I don't know. They could follow them back. I don't know. What if Wade saw David and his girl riding off on the motorcycle and they go follow him? I don't know, in the cars that they have. So that would be pretty interesting. I would love to see another new threat for Alexandria, because apparently the wolves are all dead, which was completely brushed over, but what are you going to do? But guys, again, this is just a classic example of The Walking Dead having way too many episodes for a season, not knowing what to do with so many episodes, then just throwing in a shit ton of filler. Okay, that's what season 4 did heavily in the second half of that season, with the whole story, with the group being separated. Every single one of those episodes, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I can't believe this is just filler. This is just filler. Get them to Alexandria already. Make it quick. Make it snappy. I get you're building character. Okay, and I think those episodes in Season 4 honestly did it better than tonight's episode, because we honestly, what more do we need? All right, with Abraham and Sasha. Why are we establishing them starting a possible relationship, or them not going back to Alexandria? Didn't feel necessary at all. Tonight's episode was just poor in nearly every aspect. I'm going to give Always Accountable a grade of I'm going to go 7 out of 10 or a C-. Didn't like it, guys. Just disposable overall. But what did you guys think of it? I know it's a week late. Let me know what you guys thought of it down below, and let me know your predictions for tonight's episode if that sounds more interesting. If you guys would like to predict what you think is going to happen. You think Glenn is going to finally be shown again this episode? Let me know down below. And I will, of course, guys, review that episode tonight after I watch it. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Bye.